your bulletins, please. Pull out your bulletins. Find a slip of paper. It says First Christian Church of Christopher on it, has the name. Besides Jesus, who is your favorite Bible character and why? Okay? So I'd like, if you have not filled this out, I'd like for you to, and stuff it in this artistic box, well-constructed box, and the artist did a great job in putting that. Give it to Jeff or put it in. This is the basis of my sermons for the next 6-7 weeks. We're going to go through the Bible and pull out characters that are your favorite, my favorite maybe, and we'll explore it. We'll explore their faith. Okay? So please do that. I hope that you'll take this as a fun but serious thing. I will tell you mine. I have a major and a minor. Okay? Like the major prophets, the minor prophets, right? My major Bible character, besides Jesus Christ, is John. I love reading John's Gospel and his 3 epistles. John makes it real. He makes it very, very easy to understand for me. He communicates God's love through Jesus Christ. He does talk in the third person a lot, but at the same time, I can feel my name in there when he's talking in some places. So that's probably my favorite. I mean, there's many, don't get me wrong. I like the Josephs and the Abrahams and all of those. But John's probably the one that comes to mind when I think of that question. My minor is Nathan. Nathan. How many remember Nathan? Raise your hand. Have you heard of Nathan? All right, Jeff, Trish. Okay, somebody in the back. Nathan, if you do not know, if you've not read about Nathan or heard of Nathan, I'd encourage you to look it up and see how Nathan, he was a prophet during David's time. He handled David like a pro. He was the lawyer of lawyers in some regard, but at the same time, after David had committed adultery with Bathsheba, God sent Nathan in and just put the king in his place. So I'm not gonna be a spoiler for you, so I'm not gonna tell you about it. So if you don't know Nathan, I want you to read that this week. That would be really fun. So please do this. I hope that it's going to be fun for you. That was my intention. And then at the same time, it will help me and hopefully you. All right? Okay, so about several years ago, I heard a story. There was an airline who had a lot of mishaps. They had a lot of malfunctions in their aircraft and caused them to force land several times, and unfortunately there was probably even some deaths, as the story goes. So this group of passengers that I heard about, they had loaded the plane. They were taxiing out to the takeoff strip, and all of a sudden they stop. And the pilot turns the plane around and he taxis back to the gate. He gets out of the cockpit. They open the door, they let him out. The new pilot comes in, gets into the cockpit, they back out, they go out to the tarmac, and away they go. They lift it off. Well, as the story goes, about 10, 15 minutes later, when they get to the altitude that they wanted, the pilot comes on. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. You're probably wondering what all that was about back at the airport. He says, well, as you know, we've had several mishaps in our aircraft for the last few years. And so corporate has changed the policy. When a pilot reports a malfunction on the plane, The pilot is to return to the airport, to the gate, and a new pilot is asked to come on board. Think about that. What does that tell you? The function wasn't fixed, right? But how much of that do we trust? I mean, you get on a plane, do you ever think you're going to crash? No, I hope not. You better not go. Right? So there are many things that we look at in our life that is just a trust, right? I made a list here of some things I think you'll understand. How many when they left today, how many locked their doors? Okay? There's a lot of hands up that didn't. Your houses are unlocked. So therefore, there's a trust that your house is going to be the same as you left. How many, if you're like my dad, I'll tell the story of my dad. He's not here, so that's okay. How many have a car that you leave the keys in it so you don't lose them? Yeah? Okay? All right? Do you park it in a garage? Park it in a garage? Okay. Is there anybody that does it? This is a good church, okay? You don't park it in, you leave it outside, the keys in it? No, you don't. Okay. I'll let you be sure. But there are some people, you do. Okay. Yeah, so we trust humanity, right? Okay? Well, how about this one? When you drive down the road, do you ever fear that somebody will cross that yellow line and hit you head on? Do you ever think about that? No. I don't. Okay? Now, the people that are approaching me, maybe they do, right? So, but you know, we don't. We trust that they're sober. We trust that they've got a good night's sleep. We trust they're not eating a Big Mac and a fry and sucking on a Coke, right? Right? We trust that they have us in mind. Here's the biggest stuff. I think this is, and this has been going on for a long time, right? Long time. Parents take their little child, they put them on a big yellow bus. They have never met the driver of that big yellow bus, perhaps. And the big yellow bus and the driver takes them to a school where they get off and they go into a classroom, and there's, maybe in some cases they haven't met the teacher yet. And we as parents, we trust that child with that person that we've never met to teach them the things that we want them to know. And we repeat that for about 180 days a year. Think about that. I mean, man, maybe my parents knew my bus driver. No, they didn't know my bus driver. They know what? And they did not know my teacher until there was parents' night about 60 days later. And so we're wondering why our kids turn out the way they do. Now, if you're a teacher, I'm glad you didn't issue the babies. No, I love the teachers. I mean, they have a great responsibility, hard job, hard work. But there is a sense of that trust that we are just going on just like it's always been, right? So you see, the world conditions us and really convinces us that we should trust our fellow man, or utilities, or cars, until it's proven wrong. Well, what does the Bible have to say about that? Look, if you have your Bibles, and hope that you do. I would really like for you to open your Bible. If you have an electronic device, that's fine. That's fine. I want you to turn to Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 1. While we're doing that, I'm going to read a couple before we get there. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says this, "For we live by faith, not by sight." Paul writes that to the Corinthians. In Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, it says this, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." Deuteronomy 31:8 says this. God is speaking to them. When Moses is speaking to the people for the Lord, he says this, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." You know, that's a major verse for me. Every day I think of that. I don't necessarily think of Deuteronomy 31:8. I probably should, but I think that the general aura, the general character of God, the general character of Jesus. You see, I'm depending for God to go before me and open up doors. Open up the hearts of people I work with. Open up customers that I'm going to deal with, vendors that I got to talk with. I'm trusting that the Lord will go before me. He'll make my pathway straight. In spite of me, by the way. That's a key. In spite of me. You see, because there's times that I'm a rebel. And I think that every one of you are too at some point or another. But we just want to go do our way and that's it. I mean, there's been songs that have been written for that. Doing it my way. Well, the problem with doing it my way is it usually ends up crashed on the side of the road. And so I've learned, and I hope you have too, that the Lord is the one we should trust. The Lord is the one that we should always put our faith in. And when Paul is talking about we live by faith, not by sight. He's not talking about a light switch that you go and you flip and you have faith that it's going to come on. I know Paul didn't have electricity. I get that, but you get my point. See, the faith that he is talking about is the faith in trusting God, our Creator. It's a major deal, especially in Corinth, in Paul's time. And so, the nice thing about it, the intriguing thing about it, the joyous thing about it, is that Scripture hasn't changed in some 1900 years. You see, we are always to live by faith. We are always responsible for putting our hope and our trust in the Lord. And it frustrates me when I don't. I'll tell you. There are times that, I'll wake up and I got things on my mind. I got to get this accomplished today, or I got to take care of that. And I'm better than I used to be. I will admit that. Praise God for that. It had nothing to do with me. But I tend to pray now before I start anything as far as the day goes. Now, there was a time in my life when, man, I was out the door for 20 minutes. Right? And Gina got to the point where she just knew to leave me alone. And I was on a mission, even just to get out the door. And I didn't take the time to spend time with God. And I've got to say, I do that now. I do that now. I'm pretty faithful with God. But there have been mornings where I got to tell you, I've had to ask the Lord to slow me down. My mind heart is going fast. I got to get through this and do that. Help me. Help me to remember you. Help me to spend time. And it's not that I don't love the Lord. I do. It's not that you don't love the Lord. You do. But this thing called the world, it's a wicked place. It's a wicked place that enjoys taking your time. Taking your time in any way it can. If time could be a currency, man, we'd all be rich. We'd all be rich, right? So in a sense, time is a currency. Because you get to spend, you get to determine how you spend your day, how you spend your resource. That's what currency really is. It's just a resource, right? We have value on different things. But how many of us are taking the time to pray that God will go before us? I don't know. So if you're not, man, I'll challenge you. I'll challenge you to do that because, man, it's really needed. Because the world is out there ready to pounce on you. Ready to pounce. And we have to be prepared. The only way to do that, is to spend time with God and worship. Right? We covered that for many weeks. But I want you to consider this. In Hebrews chapter 11, verses 1 and 3, it says this. In case that didn't work out. Okay. That's okay. It is all right. Faith in action. That's the topic of this. Hebrews 11, 1 through 3. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commended for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. Now, this is the start of what many call the Hall of Fame of the Bible, right? You have the Abrahams, you have the Enochs, all of those great people. You have Sarah, Abraham's wife, talking about their faith. I think Hebrews was written by Paul. That and an hour will get you to that is the station. But I will tell you, many believe that it was, though there's nothing official that ties Paul to Hebrews. So I forgive you for that slip. But the writer of Hebrews here is ushering us into the Hall of Fame. How many have been to Cooperstown? Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah? How'd you like it? What did you like the best about it?
I like history and baseball better.
Yeah, it's baseball, right? You get to see plaques and pictures and all the greats. My son and I went in 2006 to see Bruce Sutter inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was a pretty awesome trip. It really, really was. Neat place to go. If you're not a baseball fan, you probably won't enjoy it. But man, if you are, I certainly would recommend it for vacation. But this chapter is greater than Cooperstown, right? It's greater than Cooperstown because this is the one that's backed by Almighty God. This is the one that the writer of Hebrews takes into consideration. Those men and women of great faith. He takes the time and writes them down. And why does he write them down for? Write them down for us. Certainly the people that were his audience. But at the same time, man, 1900 years later, we're talking about it today, right? We're not the first. We're not the first. But in this section, I see that I want to bring your attention to a couple of things. Number one, the assurance of things unseen. The assurance Now, let me clarify. This word assurance has nothing whatsoever to do with once saved, always saved. Okay? It is not once saved, always saved theology. But what it is saying is that the Abrahams and the Isaacs, the Jacobs and the Joshuas, all of those people, their faith was so good, so heavy, so true, that they trusted in the Lord so much that they were assured that He was going to fulfill the promises that He made. How about us? How about us? Oh yeah, we certainly are banking on Jesus Christ being the blood of the Lamb and taking care of all of our sins and so forth. But do we trust the Lord? Are we assured that the Lord is going to show up every day? Even when we don't. Even when we don't. You see, there are days in the past where I didn't show up. I didn't show up. But the thing that I found was that God did every day. Every day. He was always there. And even throughout the day when my anxiety got to me and the ways of the world were drawing me and knocking on me and all of that, He would sing little reminders. So it came to a point where I realized that the day was over and God really hadn't been in it. I didn't worship it very well. In fact, I did everything probably except that. I thought that I could handle it, right? I thought that I could do it. It didn't turn out so. And you know, I gotta believe, well, I know, Scripture proves to us that the Abrahams of the world had the same problem. Remember that little trip to Egypt? And Abraham said to Sarah, now look, honey, you pretend to be my sister. Otherwise, you're going to kill me. Was Abraham trusting God? Or was he trying to manipulate the situation? Certainly trying to manipulate Sarah. How many times, we may not necessarily manipulate our mates or our children, but how many times do we try to manipulate the situation when we take care of ourselves and not let God take care of us? Or maybe we don't tell the whole truth. I had a situation a few weeks ago where the company I work for, we had a mistake. And the temptation was to just tell a little white lie. So the world came knocking on my door. And I felt the Lord. I got to tell you. I stopped and I prayed. I just did it. Lord, this is what my flesh wants to do. Help me through that. And you know we did. We did. My team, myself, our owner, we told the truth. We just simply told the truth. So the Abrahams of the world are not any different than us. They're no more qualified to do God's work than us. In Hebrews chapter 11, in verse 13 says this: all of these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. You see, folks, faith is living in a hope so real, it gives absolute assurance. These men and women in the Old Testament, and they had seen the prophecies. They had heard the prophecies. For them to have a Bible in their corner of their house wasn't going to happen. You see, the Bible was at that time written on animal skins, written in stone. How many would have liked to bring the Bible on stone? You would have had to. See, so they didn't have I'm just going to go and I'm going to read this chapter tonight. They didn't have that. The synagogues, the temples, they were the places where the scrolls and the leather was, and the parchment. Because it was expensive. The common person could not afford to have such a document book in their possession. And yet today, I probably have 25 Bibles in my library. You probably do too. That doesn't count my electronic devices. I have 3 or 4 different versions of the Bible on my phone. Do you realize how fortunate we are? Do you take the time to read it every day? Do you take the time to think about it, meditate on it? These men and women, in their own way, did. They did it by talking to one another. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk about the Lord. Talk about what it says in this chapter, what it says in that chapter. What does it mean? In Hebrews 11, chapter 4, I didn't give this to Josh right now, put on the screen, but I want to read this. This is important. By faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith, he was commended as righteous when God spoke well of his offerings, and by faith, Abel still speaks even though he is dead. By faith, Enoch was taken from this life so that he did not experience death. He could not be found because God had taken him away. For before he was taken, he was commended as one who pleased God. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. By faith, Noah, who warned about things not unseen, in holy fear built an ark to save his family. By his faith, he condemned that the world and became heir of the righteousness that is keeping with faith. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as an inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land, like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were heirs with him of the same promise. For he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And by faith, even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was unable to bear children, because she considered him faithful, who had made the promise. And so from this one man, he, as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and countless as the sands on the earth of the seashore. Wow. When I read this, the thing that just yells out of the pages, the cell phone, if you will, and all that, is the fact that all of these men and women have one thing in common. Their faith. They exercised their faith. They did not betray it. There were times of failure, just like us. Times we didn't do so well. But there was always a way back. Because God never left. God never left. Was he disappointed in Abraham? Yeah, maybe. Is he disappointed in me? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That doesn't change the fact that he loves you. He loves you. It doesn't change. You see, these men and women, they were convicted of things unseen. A person of faith lives in his beliefs. Let's start talking about Noah for just a little bit. A little late, I don't want to belabor it. Noah's important. What would happen if God came to you and said that you need to start building an ark in the middle of Illinois? I mean, you're a couple hundred miles from the Mississippi River, right? That's what happened to Noah. God came to him and said, no, I'm going to destroy the world. And I need for you to build an ark. He even gave him the architectural plans. Told him how to do it. Had 3 sons that helped him. But he had thousands of people that was discouraged, making fun of him. That's called the world. Taking it down to our level, see, we're asked to build an ark. And it's called our bodies. We are asked to build this ark, this tent, Paul calls it, so that it resembles our Creator. It mimics everything that God is about. And we are to build it anywhere that God leads us. Will there be people that come and make fun of us? You betcha. Have there been people who make fun of us? Absolutely. That should not change our determination in the architectural plans that God has laid out for us. See this study over the next few weeks. It's all about this faith. All about this assurance. We'll peel back the layers and of each individual character. Maybe about 6 of them. We'll see about their faith. We'll see wonderful acts of greatness. Some are even made to be considered heroes of the Bible. But we'll also see their failures. Next week, I'll give you a copy, put it up here on the screen, of the characters that we're going to study by week. I would encourage you. They're not going to be long chapters. They're not going to be books at a time. I would encourage you to go and study yourself. Go and study those that are going to be on the screen. I would. Regardless if I think I know them or whether I don't, I'm going to. I'm going to go. Because I want us to understand their characteristics through the journey that they took. I want us to understand how God used them to do mighty things. Because I got to tell you a secret. He's going to use us in the same way. There's many around here, and I got to tell you, I don't want to make anybody mad. But I believe that this is the greatest church in Christopher, Illinois. Because of you. And I think that God is about ready to do miraculous things in this church. Through you. In the time of people thinking, oh, I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to do that. I think it's more about fear than it is qualification. We're going to explore that. Because you see these people that you're putting down on the list, I'm anticipating a little bit of that. I'll give you a hint. Gideon did a Bible study several years ago now on Gideon. It's amazing. It's amazing how he used, I'm not qualified. And when God peeled back the layers, it was just that he was fearful. Just that he was fearful. So I want you to pray. I want you to pray these next several weeks. I want you to pray for you. That God will go before you, Deuteronomy 31, right? That He'll go before you and He will open up your heart. He will open up your mind so that you can absorb what He wants. What He wants you to absorb. Pray. He'll use me in the way He wants. And I stay out of His way. That's pretty much it for today. I want to set the tone for what's coming. If you have not filled out that slip, some have put a little bit of slip in the box. I would like to know why that you want, that Ruth is your favorite character or whatever. That's the main thing is the name. You see, all of this is a prelude to where we're headed. You see, I want to be in heaven. I want to be happy that I'm there. I don't want there to be any doubt in my mind. I don't want there to be any doubt in the latter years of my life that I'm headed You don't have to go to heaven. And when I first heard that, I said, ooh, I got my attention. You don't have to go to heaven. But you can't stay down there. There's going to be a choice. That choice is yours. Whether you go to heaven and worship and be with the Lord God Almighty in the New Jerusalem, man, the new heaven. Look at that other place. It's all yours. All yours. It's how you live. It's how you believe. It's how you have that faith. We live by faith, not sight. We haven't seen heaven yet. And I don't want to see it from afar. And I don't want to be hot when I'm looking at it. I just want to be there. And I'd rather be the lowest in heaven than the mightiest in hell. So if you don't know the Lord, I invite you to come. And if you do know Him, and you're not living the life that you need to live, then come to. Because it's a joyous place for the people come. And what the Scripture tells me, you know, the Bible was written over 1,500 years. It had 40 different authors. Man. We have manuscripts that go back as far as the 8th century. We have a little thing called the Dead Sea Scroll. It has manuscripts and proves that this Bible is real. There's no other book, none, that has more proof that it's true than the Bible. None. If you don't believe me, read it. Go search it out. Search how we got the Bible. You see, you're not believing in a fictitious God, in spite of all the science and all the philosophers and all that. You're believing in the true God, the only God, the one God, His Son, Jesus Christ. We'll stand, we're going to sing, and